Today I'm going to be going over the process of how I find a character's design. I was really lucky to have the opportunity to work on the character designs for a game that is currently being developed by Carcajou Games in Montreal. In this video, I'm going to show you how we developed the design for one of the characters that will appear in the game, in the hopes that you can take this same process and apply it to the development of your own characters. So, here we go. In this first phase, I always start with research. I'm not going to go into too much depth on this, but if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that I'm a huge advocate for researching. The character I'm showing you today is a take on the Red Hen of classic literature. For such a well-known character in literature, I'm not going to just look up visual reference, I'm also going to look at the story itself, including its roots and origins. Also, as a disclaimer, I really like chickens. I looked at a lot of pictures of chickens. Find your bliss, people! Let's do this. So after doing some initial research to get some ideas flowing, I'll start making thumbnails. You can see that I'm not going too crazy at first, just kind of noodling around with shapes and silhouettes to get some creativity going. It's really important to not let your research confine your designs in this phase. Don't let it hamper you or constrain you. Instead, just use research as jumping off points. This specific thumbnail sketch, for example, was inspired by the reference image on the right, but you can see how much the thumbnail has changed from the reference image. With all of these thumbnails, you can see quite a bit of diversity that will give my art director a number of design directions to choose from. Maybe our hen is more of a cute French maid type character who is very snooty and haughty, and her prim nature is indicated by her slightly fancier outfit. Or maybe she is more like an old gossipy woman who dresses very rich and looks down on other people for not working hard because she worked so hard to become rich. Or maybe she's more peasant-like, very motherly and nurturing as shown in these thumbnails. So now what I'm going to do is move forward in creating another round of design iterations based off of those chosen initial thumbnails, and then hopefully start to hone in on the final design for the character. In the end, the art director decided to go with the thumbs that were more peasant looking because he wanted to show the hard worker nature of the character. So we're going to proceed forward with numbers 5, 6, and 8. I really focused on the worker aspect of her design per the request of the art director, basing her outfit off of folkish peasant costumes. Also, since she's a mother hen, in a number of the designs you'll see I gave her little baby chicks, and tried to communicate through her pose how she might interact with those chicks. Is she a busy mom who's tired and stressed? Or is she a cool, collected supermom who's just juggling all of her babies? So now we've gone through another round of design iteration, and the art director has chosen his favorite elements from various thumbnails and kind of spliced those together into what he envisions for the final design. So now we're going to bring that to life. I always start with a solid sketch before going into painting. I want to make sure that my anatomy and pose is really solid before going into the rendering phase, so I put in quite a bit of time on that in the beginning to make sure everything is correct. This saves me from having to correct any drawing issues when I am painting later on. When I'm rendering, all I want to worry about is rendering. I don't want to have to think about, oh, shoot, her torso got a bit too big, or, her head is way too small for her body. I want all of that figured out beforehand. Even though I usually have to fix some of that stuff anyhow, it's usually just minor tweaks versus having to change too much. I am really excited with how this final character turned out. Obviously, this process is super variable, so sometimes you might spend more time in phase 1 where you're researching and coming up with a bunch of crazy different ideas. Sometimes you might spend more time in phase 2 where you're really exploring that design direction and coming up with that final character design. But but you can always use this process as a basic guide for the evolution of your character design. Again, that basic process being Phase 1, the research and thumbnail phase, Phase 2, iterating on a single design direction, and then Phase 3, rendering out the final design. I really hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe to my channel to be updated on when I release new content. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for future content and video announcements. If you're on Instagram and you end up trying this process, please tag me at kimbyarting so I can see your awesome work. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this was an incredible opportunity for me to be involved in the development of the characters for this game, so I really encourage you to like and subscribe to Carcajou Games on social media to be updated on when this will release. I'll see y'all next time.